Hello YouTube, I'm Sarah and today I'm doing my July wrap-up. The first book in July that I finished was The Corridor by A. Ann Willis, and this book I absolutely adored. I gave it 5 stars out of 5. If you've seen some of my other videos, you may already know what it's about, but for those of you who haven't, it's about a girl who is living in like this multi-dimension kind of thing, and so there's multiple Earths, and we know of 2 Earths in this book. She is on first Earth, and one day she's working at a facility where her father works, watching this thing called a corridor. The corridor allows them to travel between Earths, but they don't really use it because it's unstable, and so they're trying to keep it stable, and it has this like pulse. And so suddenly she discovers she can now create a corridor between her hands, or with her hands I guess, and so she's able to teleport herself back and forth to these different Earths. And the new head of the facility decides, hey, let's make a second corridor, when they can't even control the first. So then she goes on this mission to help her dad convince this head person that this is a bad idea, that you can't control it. And the writing in this was just so wonderful and fantastic, and it just totally absorbs you and you feel like you're there, and so I would definitely recommend this book. The second book that I finished was actually a manga that I checked out from the library called Anima, and this one was, it was entertaining. I still gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and it's about kids that have are born with, one of them's born with wings, one of them has bear claws, and so they're kind of like outcasts because they're different, but they go on different little adventures. It wasn't really like one cohesive story, it was just a bunch of little ones. At least the book that I read, so it followed introduced you to each child and their abilities. The third book I finished was one that I started the end of June, called The Summoner by Gail Martin, and it was the first book of the Chronicles of the Necromancer. This book I definitely enjoyed, and we'll be looking into the next books in the series. It follows a prince, and actually his oldest brother is a bad guy. He goes and kills his family. So this one prince, not the crown prince, but the second in line prince, somehow survives the onslaught, and he finds out that he has inherited his grandmother's powers, and his grandmother was this most powerful necromancer that they have ever seen in any of their lives or in any of their histories. So he finds out that he's her heir, but she's gone, she's dead. So he's trying to learn how to control his powers, and also trying to avoid the guards and other mercenaries and whatnot that his oldest brother, the crowned prince and now king, are sending after him. The next book I finished was Born of Fury by Sherilyn Kenyon. This is the 7th book in the League series, and it is so great. I was so over the world, which I usually am with her books, that I just had to listen to it again. So I've already listened to this audiobook twice. The book follows Hawk, an Andarian warrior, while he takes his nephew and niece on what they call an endurance. It is a test where the child basically crosses over into adulthood. But he runs into some trouble while there, and as in all of the books, finds a female that he likes, and so they have this little romance, but not without problems. The next book that I finished was The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, and this book I also gave 4 out of 5 stars. Even though I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, I'm not sure if I'll go on with the story. There was something missing for me, so it's not really, I guess, up my alley. So that one I'll have to think about, because there's other books on my TBR that I'm adding every day that I would like to read probably more than continuing that story. And the most recent book that I finished, I actually finished it just in the nick of time so that I could put this on the July wrap-up, was Moonwitched by Renee Wilds. And if you go check out my blog, I posted a review of this. I received this book for review from netgalley.com, and I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's actually the 7th book in the Guardians of Light series. This is a series that I had never heard of, and when I requested the book, I did not realize that it was the 7th book in the series. So I was a little lost at the beginning, but even so, the writing just kind of throws you into the action, and it was just wonderful. There was one fight scene, or where they're training to fight, really, and I felt like I was getting a lesson in fighting, so I learned a little bit of how to fight from the book. So those are the books that I managed to read for July. I read a total of 6 books, almost made my 10 book goal, but fell a little short. So we'll try again for August, and I will be participating in the book-do-a-thon, so hopefully that will help knock a few books out of the list. I would love to know what books you read for July that you enjoyed. Please let me know in the comments below. If you've liked this video, please do go check out some of my other videos or subscribe to my channel to get notifications when I post more videos. Until next time, TTFN!